Thank you, everyone. My name is Don McPhee. I'm a solo practice attorney in Salem, New York. Here today with my business partner, Kyle Hunter, also from Salem. Here to talk to you today about what we believe is the next generation of messaging. My wife and my mother-in-law were close, extremely close, closer than any mother-daughter combination I've ever seen before. Actually, my mother-in-law, my in-laws live 2 miles down the road. But yet, every day when I would get home from work, my wife had gotten home from work, she'd be on the phone and she'd be talking to her mother. She was the only daughter of 5 children. And so her mother and my wife were extremely close. And they would just talk about the most generic things you could ever imagine. Perennial gardens and going to the camp and things like that. And I didn't understand how they could talk like that for a half hour or an hour on the phone, but they could. So when my mother-in-law passed away about 3 years ago, it took a very big part out of my wife's daily ritual, out of her own life. And it took a tremendous toll on our family and on my wife as well. So I was actually at my office one night, and I can still remember I was painting my conference room, and I was on the ladder and I was painting away, and you'd start thinking about things, and I thought, why couldn't my mother-in-law have created certain messages to my wife? And why couldn't my wife ask questions or suggestions which my mother-in-law could respond to that could be delivered afterwards? And therefore you're reinforcing that connection to a loved one who has passed away. The other component to it is in my own practice. LaterTalk actually is going to provide clients of mine and others nationwide, locally, globally, the ability to express their thoughts, words of advice, and memories to their loved ones in their own words rather than through some will or other kind of legal document. I have clients who actually hold on to answering machine tapes because those are the last words of their parent or their loved one, and they want to listen to those, even though that message is just static, it just doesn't change. Well, LaterTalk provides you with the ability to create unique and spontaneous and authentic messages for your loved ones so that they don't have to listen to the same message every time. And it just reestablishes that connection. This is our homepage. Our logo is a butterfly, and a butterfly signifies rebirth or change. But what we've done is we've tweaked it a little bit by the wings of the butterfly are actually call-out boxes. And so the call-out boxes signify that although there is a change in your parent or your loved one who is deceased, the conversation continues between your loved one and yourself. We've taken a very complex topic and we've created an easy user interface. That interface is simple enough. When signing up, you put in your name, first, last, and your password, and you're in. When you do actually enter into your dashboard, which is the first screen that you'll get once signing up, you'll start adding survivors, and that's simple enough. You would just put in their first, last name, their relationship to you, and their email address. And so once you start adding survivors, then you see that your LaterTalk album starts taking shape. And on the left, your legacy, those are all the individuals that you want to add as survivors and provide messaging to. And below that, their legacy. Those are individuals who have named you as a survivor, and they will be leaving a legacy to you. You're going to want to appoint a trustee. So every time you add a survivor, you have the option of appointing that individual as a trustee. Now, we suggest that you add, obviously, 1, but maybe 2 or 3, because you want to be able to have that system of checks and balances where all people agree that your account should be activated because you are no longer with us. And by doing that, you'll then be able to create messaging on certain survivors' pages. In this case, this is my daughter's page from my account, and I just took out a whole bunch of the other ones and just left it at this, but you can see the icon for the camera, meaning it's a picture, and then text messages, and that's how you would create a notice, by clicking on the plus sign. Once again, from my daughter's page, the picture that I want to use is of her and her dog that we got her a couple years ago. The dog was born on February 14th, Valentine's Day, and I'm going to schedule it for delivery on February 14th when my account is activated, when I'm no longer here. And so what this does then is it allows us to maintain that connection, and my daughter will look at that and laugh. It allows my personality to shine through on this. In this case, we're going to show a quick, if you can go back 1, we're going to show how this particular messaging works when you want to create a message. So in this case, we have a person named Chris Smith who's going to leave a message to his friend Sam, and he's going to say here that, Sam, we had great holiday parties. I always enjoyed having Christmas dinner with you and your family. The red wine helped as well. Love you, buddy, Chris. And so it's going to be available immediately after Chris Smith passes, and Sam's going to get this message. So Chris goes into his gallery, library of photos, picks a photo, he uploads it, and he creates the message. And that message then goes directly onto Sam's page, and that's ready to be delivered. You can do the same thing with video clip messages. You're going to download video clips, and you can schedule those for delivery, and then they're going to show up on that person's page ready for delivery once the account is activated. In this case, the biggest component of LaterTalk and our biggest patent pending step toward conversational messaging from a survivor messaging standpoint is the collaborative nature, where the survivors can actually go to mom or dad's page or a friend's page and say, hey, leave me messages regarding this, or I'm going to miss you terribly if something happens, or remember that time in Little League when I hit you with the bat? I thought that was funny. Whatever it is, you're going to start a conversation. It allows you to create messages in a spontaneous, unique, and authentic manner for delivery to your survivors so that you can maintain a connection to them and they can appreciate what you have left for them. It's not so much that they're going to, it's not so much of an instant gratification thing like so much of technology is today for all of us. It's a personal gratification that you can experience when you create your account. Creating these types of messages for your children, for your loved ones, for your friends is gratifying in and of itself when you do it. The collaborative messaging component is a big step, and that's what really creates the survivor messaging concept that we think is going to be the next generation of messaging. As a survivor, you're going to receive spontaneous and authentic messages from your deceased loved ones, and because of the collaborative feature, they're only going to be the types of messages that you would want to receive from your loved ones. I also thought that it's going to facilitate some estate handling. The probate process can be a long process. And so because there's the ability to leave account numbers and private information, you can avoid the 2 to 3 month delay of actually getting an executor or a trustee appointed. You can actually convey some of this information quickly. What have we done? We've trademarked the butterfly logo. We've trademarked the word LaterTalk. We filed the provisional, non-provisional, and international patent application through Heslin Rothenberg in Albany. We've undergone phase 2 modifications to the site, not major overhaul, but some modifications. We now have a tiered pricing scale. There's a free account, which allows unlimited survivors and messaging and 3 pictures per survivor. There's an annual subscription, which is $11.99 for unlimited survivors and unlimited messages. And there's our teamwork there is myself and Kyle, Gavant Software, and we've been doing some consulting and marketing with Endorphin. And then just lastly, what are we looking for? We're just looking for people to check it out, enjoy it, try it out, and contact us. Tell us how it is. By the way, please go on, and the 1-year subscription for $11.99, you get a free 1 year if you put in the promo code LaterTalk 1YR free. So anything that's free is good. Try it out and give us feedback. That'd be great. Any reciprocity, reciprocal relationships in terms of technology, advertising, and contacts with investors or angel people or anyone who's interested in looking at how we can take the next step in bringing survivor messaging and legacy media to the local community, to our nation, and globally, because we think it is the next big thing. And it's exciting work. So thank you very much. I'm sorry I went over time. It's a big concept to try and explain to people quickly, but anyway, appreciate it. Thank you very much.